Hey everybody, welcome to today's Autoversity. I'm Dwayne Marino, and if you like these videos and you find them helpful, hopefully you do, please share them and please like them. Today's topic is on something called mindfulness. Now, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is basically being aware of your own thoughts. I can tell you, if you spend a day or even 10 minutes actually paying attention to your own thoughts, maybe writing down the odd one that creeps into your mind, people that study this stuff, I don't know where they get some of the information, but apparently, the average person is awake 15 hours a day. We have 100 completely random thoughts an hour, 3/4 of which are self-doubt. I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm too skinny, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I'm too fat, I don't have enough hair, I have too much hair, I can't make these calls, I can't sell this, this won't work, why don't I know this yet? All kinds of things. Now, without mindfulness, without getting in touch with those thoughts, it obviously becomes very difficult to correct anything or improve yourself. But mindfulness also ties into a lot of other things, such as your physical health. There's a stress hormone called cortisol. I'm sure you're aware of it if you ever had a physical. And cortisol is supposed to be a very short-term thing where it induces fight and flight, the fight and flight response. Now, with the fight and flight response, the job of cortisol is to take away mindfulness. It's to take away your ability to critically analyze or think clearly, and it's designed for dangerous situations in which we were been in for millions of years or whatever. However, with our current lifestyles of everything's on a time clock, financial pressures, relationship pressures, we're under a continual stream of stresses that our ancestors weren't under, and we're not really built to deal with. So a lot of people have a continual cortisol drip going on in their body. What does this do? Well, it's going to prematurely age you in every way that you can imagine. It's going to make you overweight. It's going to take away your mojo. It's going to make you make a lot of mistakes, treat people in ways you don't want to treat them, say things you don't want to say. So there's a lot of practical, physiological reasons why you want to study mindfulness and maybe get in touch with that, which is really just self-awareness of your own thoughts. So here's a couple of ideas. Just focusing on an object with your eyes open or closed will give you a little bit of sensation and control and understanding and recognition mostly of when thoughts are creeping into your mind that either aren't yours perhaps, there's a theory on that, or are just random thoughts that really are coming from some part of your mind or your brain or who knows where, but just staring at an object, not daydreaming, but trying to focus on it, paying attention to thoughts that come out of your mind can increase your mindfulness in a lot of situations. Now, the benefit of mindfulness is you're not going to be saying things to customers and your boss that you would normally not want to say if you had a chance to think about it. You're not going to rifle back an email to somebody and tear a strip off of them when 24 hours later you go, man, I was not my best self there. Why did I do that? You're going to have dialogues with your family and friends and customers at much higher levels of quality because you're aware of your own thoughts and your body language and what you're doing and why you're doing it. Another way to increase your mindfulness is through yoga. This is why yoga works for mindfulness. You have to hold poses. I've been doing yoga now for 10 years, various types, and this has been one of the biggest benefits. It's got me in touch a lot with my own thinking. When you're holding a pose, an awkward pose of whatever that is, or trying to get deeper into it or do it properly, because it's so still, not moving, practically motionless, and because you easily could topple over or lose that pose if your mind drifts, you get in touch, you train yourself to get in touch with how to control your mind on a point, on an object, and stop these thoughts from creeping in. So yoga is one thing that can work. And the third technique I'm going to give you, besides focusing on an object or focusing on yourself in very slow movements, even slow movements like walking. You can walk extremely slowly, focusing on every little movement of your pants on your legs and on your shirt, and the swing of your arms and the strike of your feet, what's striking first, what's leaving the ground last. That's another meditative type walking technique to increase mindfulness. But the other one here is called stop, spot, and squash, or spot, stop, and squash. Now what this is you want to really pay attention to your thoughts and how you associate things. Maybe you see a car, you see an individual, you see a certain race, you see a type of customer, and you have an instant reaction in your body. This is interesting to note because you will probably act out some of these thoughts in conversations with people. But first thing to get controlled, start spotting all of the negative thoughts and negative associations you have. Spend 5 minutes or a week just doing that. The next thing is, in areas of your life where you want to get control of these things, where you feel maybe know, it's not helpful, it's not empowering you or other people. You want to place a cancellation sign, a stop sign, right in the middle of your mind visually as soon as you catch this association having a reaction inside you. That's called the stop method. So first thing is to spot anything that fires off a negative feeling or connotation or association. Then the next thing is to place a stop sign in front of you. What is squash? Squash is you now introducing a new behavior, a new thought process, or a new action to overwrite your old one. So let's say you're in sales. A lot of salespeople have a fear or discomfort with the phones. I love the phones. I associate money with phones. So it makes it very easy for me to take and make phone calls. But you know, if you got the wrong association, that's not going to help you. So the first thing is you need to spot exactly where and when your fear of the phones is starting. What you want to do at that point is introduce a stop sign in your mind. Okay, whoa, stop. This is a stupid association. And put the stop sign up, which disrupts the pattern of the previous association of whatever was making you nervous or scared. Then the squash is, as soon as you realize that you have a fear of the phones or discomfort, you make calls. You make calls, you jump back on the horse, and what's going to happen is, through repetition, you are going to overwrite your old associations, and maybe one day not only get comfortable with the phones, but increase your skill set so much, because if you're mindful when you're on the phone or when you're selling, you're going to be better at it, because you're going to have more access to those skills you've been training, because cortisol stops your access to skills. So spot, stop, squash, maybe do something like yoga or extremely slow walking where you analyze your moves. And of course, you know, try to focus on your breathing a little bit, because breathing helps a lot during all these situations. And the other one is just focusing on a still object or an object in your mind with your eyes closed. And it could be something as simple as a soccer ball. And imagine that soccer ball in front of you as you slowly rotate it in every direction, and just analyze and cultivate the thought of that ball while you also entertain yourself with the other thoughts that are creeping into your mind. This video is a little bit longer because this video requires a lot of training and work, sometimes years of work, before you make any enormous progress. But you can have good progress in a few minutes or a few hours just by realizing how important it is to be aware of yourself. So I wish you right mindfulness on this beautiful weekend. I'm going out to video one of our online training videos and a few webcasts and things that way. I'm Dwayne Marino. Like and share this. Take care. We'll see you soon.